as opposed to 6% that are going higher. Let's pull up the stock of Mphasis for you and see how that stock is trading. Mphasis came out with its second quarter earnings. That one is down 3.5%. Really, there wasn't a surprise for Mphasis. We saw flattish growth on the top line, though thanks to good operational performance and cost control, profit after tax moved up 10.5% on a sequential basis to about 211 crores. We spoke with the management of Mphasis, Mr. Ganesh Ayyar, CEO of Mphasis, as well as the Suryanarayanan, CFO of Mphasis, about their earnings, and we asked Mr. Ayyar to tell us what was the traction in the HP revenues.
Absolutely, after 20 quarters of decline, when one was badly bruised, and all of you used to ask me, when is it going to stop, when will we see stability? So here it is in second quarter, we have stabilized the business, we have seen moderate growth, and I expect moderate growth going forward. So that clearly is the highlight of second quarter result.
So Mr. Ayyar, is this sustainable?
Yeah, as I said, we are expecting moderate growth going forward, not spectacular growth, but moderate growth. And when you contrast it with 20 quarters of decline, it certainly feels like Disneyland.
We asked the CFO whether the expectation is that the HP revenues will be stable in the near term.
Yes, as Ganesh mentioned, I think we are having a moderate growth we expect in the coming quarters for HP. And more importantly, for the first time after 20 quarters, we've seen a growth. So there will be stability in the HP channel.
So Mr. Suryanarayanan, other than HP, what were the deal wins in the second quarter?
Yes, I think apart from 83 million deal wins in the current quarter, we have a very healthy pipeline, and we are quite confident as to beat the market with respect to our direct core business for FY17. And as of now, we are not seeing any headwinds with respect to the US elections.
We asked Mr. Ayyar that the DI business was weak in the second quarter. Is this in line with the industry?
No, so if you look at our direct business, it has three components. One is digital risk, the other one is our product business, and then direct core, which literally constitutes 75% of that total pie. That is definitely going to grow faster than the market. It has contributed to the wins that we saw. Surya mentioned we have a strong pipeline. So I'm quite confident that direct core business will beat market growth rate on full year basis.
We asked Mr. Suryanarayanan that in the second quarter the margins were quite healthy, but can this be sustained going ahead?
Yes, I think apart from the HP growth, I think we had a good quarter with respect to the overall profits. Our net profit grew 6% quarter on quarter, and for the first time we touched an EPS of double digit of 10.3. So that's another positive for the current quarter.
Mr. Ayyar, is there a lot of pricing pressure?
See, more than the traditional discussion on margin pressure and pricing pressure, one needs to see the tectonic shift which is taking place in the market, where traditional IT is clearly shrinking and new generation areas are growing. For that, you have to have ability to have domain-specific offering, automation, artificial intelligence, or robotic process automation. These are growing areas. So that is more important than the traditional pricing pressure, because this industry has always tackled pricing pressure, and that's not new. What is new is the tectonic shift, and we are thrilled with the wins that we are having in that area and even the pipeline.
So Mr. Ganesh Ayyar, how do you see the structural changes in the IT sector?
Absolutely, no question about that, because this industry has succeeded based on people-heavy model, and asset-light people-heavy used to be the model. Going forward, it has to be automation-heavy and people-light model. And for that, you also need to have specialization. Scale is not enough. So it is definitely a tectonic shift. It is almost a revolution-like environment which we are facing. And it does not matter whether you are from Indian industry or from any other industry. You have to transform. It is an opportunity, it is not a threat. But if you don't transform, then it becomes a huge threat and you run the risk of becoming an extinct species.
Mr. Suryanarayanan, do you see that investments in digital are now very, very critical, and is that the way going forward?
Yes, I think it's not only with respect to specific digital investments, but it's also investments in skill sets and employees with domain knowledge. So I think that's the focus of the IT industry for in the future, near future.
So that was the management of Mphasis talking about their second quarter earning. We're going to slip into a break at this point in time. When we come back, we'll track the markets and keep the focus on earnings. We will